a little bit after 7, so I guess I will go ahead and start. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to your May meeting of the Alachua Astronomy Club. So today's theme on the slideshows are NASA APODs, or astronomy photos of the day. So in the background, I wanted to pick out some of my favorites over the last little bit. Welcome in. Feel free to take a seat. There's some seats up here or over here on this side. As always, thank you to our hosts at Santa Fe College, James and team. It's our pleasure to be here at the Kika Silva Pla Planetarium this evening. A little bit of some jumbling up of the normal kind of agenda, as it were. I'll go over some general meeting notes, announcements and whatnot. Our members corner is going to be rescheduled. That just means you get to have more time with James for the planetarium show, and then I think he's also going to look at tonight. So since our last meeting, we stand at 171 members. We have a few new folks that have joined since the 14th. Are any of them with us tonight?
Jonathan Bravo is on Zoom.
Jonathan Bravo, welcome. We'll give you the tablet. You can hear upon.
I think Suzanne on Zoom.
We have some others. We have Suzanne on Zoom as well. So welcome, Suzanne. Thank you for joining. And then anyone else? No, do we have any guests with us tonight? My list is knocking over here that want to at least acknowledge that they're here. I saw some hands in the back. Go ahead, sir.
Here with my grandma.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're going to bring you. And then Jeff in front with the whistle.
Keith Kroger recently moved into the area from Arizona.
Well, welcome. I apologize in advance for our humidity. You will soon learn to hate it with the rest of us. Oh. Yeah, wet is not moist though. And then, yeah.
Ryan Jones.
Awesome, welcome. Awesome, welcome. I trust we're friends. Awesome, very good. Well, thank you for bringing me.
Nobody dares see that.
I'm so sorry to hit Daniel. We don't like him anyway, so it's fine. I'm glad you don't. Sorry. All righty. So some of the past goings on. Chiefland Astronomy Village had their spring picnic, and I know a lot of members here take part in that event as well. So we've got Mike, and then it looks like Marianne and Lisa, and then kind of the highlight of the weekend, from what I understand, at least from observing, is that Richard pulled out on the C-14, the Pegasus Smart Eye, and they were doing some kind of remote observation on that in the planetarium. And I guess there was talk about galaxies. Lisa, do you want to expand upon that? Oh, what was your experience with the Smart Eye? Excellent. Sounds like some armchair astronomy, but lots of positive reviews from the room for anybody on Zoom. Yeah, if you, I don't mention it in the slides, but Afterfest will be the new moon of November, and it's always a great time, and we're not biased at all. So I know I mentioned last time that Newberry was doing their Fire to Inspire fundraiser, and the club sponsored one of them, but then we had a match by one of our newer members, Charmin. Are you here with us tonight? I don't think I saw her, but if you're with us on Zoom or in the YouTube to come, we want to make sure to thank Sherman for matching, so that we actually sponsored 2 of the 7 hydrants. So thank you to Sherman for her contribution. And then we've got, that's Charmin. We had the luxurious job of cleaning all the crap off of the hydrant. So it looks far better. I should have taken a before picture, but I didn't. And again, these are some of the folks that took part in some of the painting. So special thanks to Joanne and Dave, who sort of led the charge on the 2 fire hydrants. These are works in progress, but you'll see kind of the Artemis, and on the reverse side we'll have the moon, and some of the launch and some different stars and whatnot. And then obviously we kind of have a daytime view, or a daytime night sky of the solar system and different stuff. So thank you guys for your contribution. And also thank you to Jay and Jessica for coming out and painting as well. So it's a work in progress. If you drive through downtown, you'll notice on the south side of Newberry Road, fire hydrants, it starts kind of 7 to 1 as you go west to east. We are number 4, so we're right across from the Baptist church that's next to City Hall. And then we are also the Artemis fire hydrant is directly in front of the Lions Club. So if you drive by, take a look, stop, take a selfie with it. Don't egg it, I don't know. We saw some kids eyeballing it, so we want to make sure that it stays nice and pretty, because they've been putting a lot of work into the event. On May 6th, we held our quarterly board meeting, just some of the quick little hot topics that we mentioned in different levels of approval and whatnot, but we wanted to make sure to begin to address the scholarship program that we started back in 2024, 2025, that school season. There's interest to continue that program on for the next academic year. It's kind of tabled for now once we get to raise and support some of our astronomy students in the area. We're beginning to plan that outreach calendar. So if you want to be part of the team that puts on outreach, please reach out. Lisa, the board, Lisa's in the back with her hands up, because I know we've got a fair amount of new folks. Grab her during the break. Grab any board member or myself. We want to make sure to get as many people involved, because that seems to be what the club really enjoys. Some of the stuff on Newberry Star Park, we have some stuff that we've done, stuff that we're going to plan that I'll go over. We do have an opening on the board that I'll address a little bit later, and then also the state of the Far Out Journal Club. Those minutes are in progress, and usually here in a couple of weeks to a month or so afterwards, we try to get those posted to the website so that people can kind of follow along if you weren't able to join us in person. Speaking of Newberry Star Park, following the success of the garage sale and getting some of the old equipment out, I want to make sure to thank Tom, who went in and steadied our foundation, put some shims in. If you've ever had the experience of opening the door, it used to get stuck on the stairs, and that is no longer the case. So thank you, Tom, for going out and taking care of that. We definitely appreciate that. And then Warren is going to lead a team of painters. You can see that we've got a nice base coat on there, but we want to make sure to kind of get that second layer on to kind of even it out. So kind of tentatively looking like we're going to do on the 23rd, time to be determined. But if you have interest in that, please reach out to any of us. Warren is right here back on this side. If you see, he's the gentleman with his hand raised. Again, in the break, if you've got interest in coming out and painting, we'll try to do that in the morning before it gets hot and sticky. So some stuff at Newberry. The Far Out Journal Club. We mentioned in the last couple of meetings, and I'll say it again, that we are looking for help in that, but we want to make sure that it does continue. I reached out to, if you don't know this gentleman, it's Scott Manley. He's a pretty prolific YouTuber, so we want to kind of stay in the realm of kind of pop culture and whatnot. If you haven't seen any of his videos, just look him up, Scott Manley on YouTube. He is a great science communicator, astrophysicist, gamer. So he's really enjoyable, and I think he'll be a great episode. We're looking for probably no earlier than September, but we have him on the books, and he's kind of a big get. He's got about just shy of 3 million subscribers, but he's worked all throughout the industry. And again, touching on that coordinator position, it's nothing you'll have to do alone. Really, it's just about sending out emails and then following up with guests and kind of scheduling things and getting some stuff kind of done. Some minor production stuff. I typically would have supported Rich in that role. So you'll have a ton of help if that's something that you're interested in, that you want to take part in. Please reach out. The Far Out Journal Club was such a cool program. We want to make sure that it continues on. So, but it does need somebody to lead that charge. Board of Directors. I want to make sure to thank Michael for his service. I don't think he's here with us, but we'll give him the clap on the Zoom. been our IT coordinator for at least as long as I've been in the club, looking over our website, kind of managing the member system behind the scenes. But really, he's kind of at a point where his bandwidth really just can't support the role to the level that I think he expects of it. So he wants to, he'll still support, there'll be lots of training, but anybody who's got a knack for IT and website development and just some other ideas, so we kind of bring the club forward, feel free to reach out. I know we've got some interest, I think, in Jay over here, so you might have some competition. But certainly, I look forward to speaking more with Jay and anybody else who wants to kind of help on that. It can definitely be a position that involves more than one person on both the IT side, but also some of the membership side is sort of expanding some of the communication that we do towards the club. Brand partnerships. Just last night, I was speaking with the folks at Dwarf Lab, and we have some updates to our affiliate program. Previously, our discount was a $10 coupon if you used our code for a Dwarf 3. We're actually one of the very first, if not the only, based on the success of the program, to now have an increase to a 5% discount, but then also that discount now applies to their Dwarf Mini, which is a much more reasonably priced item. So I think it's $350 on that. You'll save about 20 bucks. You typically get free shipping. And then just last night, I think it hit the PayPal account this morning, sort of our most recent payments of the amount that we get back. So if somebody uses our code in a sale, I think we get about a 6% commission based off of that sale. It doesn't cost you anything more. It doesn't cost anyone any more to use that, but it just recognized that, hey, you had some tie to us or found the code somewhere online. So wanted to make sure to give everybody at least a little bit of a heads up on that if you're in the market. I hate doing slides on me, but I had the privilege to be invited to be the speaker at the Alachua County Library District kind of volunteer appreciation event. It's a really great organization. They're the ones who put on the big sale every year that gets thousands of people out. And then also they're an organization of, I want to say right around 289 was the number that jumps to my head. Those 289 volunteers contributed about roughly 7,000 hours of free service to the district, and totaling about close to $300,000 of financial impact. So it was really cool to speak to that, I guess, with volunteers out of this world. The president of an astronomy club seemed like a logical fit. So part of that was they did offer an honorarium that I really didn't want to take personally. I did actually just get the check today in the mail, and I want to make sure I'm going to take that check and transfer it over to the club with the idea of supporting the library telescope program. So that way the library district supports their own programming, and I just had to speak for a few minutes to facilitate that. So it was really kind of a fun speaking engagement that I enjoyed a lot. And again, I touched on it just briefly, but those outreach inquiries, we probably have more outreach inquiries than we could ever truly accommodate. That only is limited by membership. So the more folks that want to do it, the more present we are in the community to kind of help fill those requests that we get, be it tabling activities at some of the events, daytime activities, school outreach as far as working with Dave when we get those. One of the new programs that will probably be starting up here later this year are the night hikes at Sweetwater Wetlands. Lisa and I went out here about a month ago and did a dry run, and we just got an email back saying that they would like to have us for a few times this year. So it's a really cool event. If you've not done the night hike at Sweetwater, even if it's not a night we do it, go do it. It's a really cool opportunity to be able to see all the alligators at night. So again, reach out to Lisa, anybody on the board, to throw your name in the hat to help participate with that. So what's coming up? This is probably my favorite APOD that I found. So the road ahead. This Saturday. So everybody probably knew about the star party that we're having at Rosemary Hill. but we are expanding the programming a little bit since we've had clouds to more of an afternoon kind of into the evening event. So Francisco is going to give us a radio astronomy demonstration and kind of talk about some of the processing and stuff like that. So you'll get to see the radio telescope that he's got out on the site. We'll begin that probably around 4:30 in the observatory, go for about an hour, hour and a half. We'll break for dinner. We are, as a club, going to cover, at the very least, the mains of a dinner. We're kind of looking to see if we order pizza, if we get some sandwich platters, if somebody has a better idea. By all means, if you're going to sign up and, hey, I really want to have this, there's a great spot in Bronson, let us know. We want to at least cover dinner, so that way, if you're going to come out for both events, you don't have to leave and go hungry. And then for anybody that may not come, we'll do that dinner and then come back for sunset right around 8 or 8:16 in the evening. Both of those events are going to be called right around 12. I think Francisco and Lisa are going to kind of check the weather, which right now, I'm not going to say looks bad, but it looks really, really good. I don't want to jinx anything, but it looks to be some pretty great weather this weekend. And then if you've not been to Rosemary Hill, it's a great dark site. Get there a little bit early, especially if you have equipment that you want to bring up to the top of the hill. It's Rosemary Hill, it is a literal hill. So you are able to drive up to the hill, unload your equipment, and then you'll have to park back down near the dorms. If you're going to bring telescope equipment up, just be prepared to stay through probably 10:30, 11, depending on weather. Basically, once everybody's sort of done, then we'll all drive back up as space allows to break down that equipment. We can also, if somebody has to leave in the middle, we can help ferry stuff down. Somebody's always got a wagon or whatnot, but just know that it's not a big walk, but there is a little bit of a walk for those that bring equipment. And please bring equipment. It's a great dark sky site to try to use every chance we get. So thank you to Francisco and the University of Florida for letting us come out and use that. And then a little bit later, coming up into June, weather permitting, of course, we will have another firework party out at Chiefland. Sunset looks to be around 8:30, so the normal rules, get there about an hour early, especially if you've not been to the site before. This one is an active observing field for those that don't know. So it's a serious observing spot, so we want to make sure that white light etiquette is observed. So get there early. If that way we can help get you parked in the right way so you're not disturbing anybody else. It's a great community. We just want to be really respectful of our presence there and remain good guests so that Lisa and Richard let us keep coming back. Yeah. Excellent. And then as usual, that go, no go will go out by email. So make sure to register to stay up to date on that information. Mr. Tom will be doing an ATM. Last year's kind of back to basics went so well and it was so well attended. We think that there's truly a need to kind of just have that refresher. The weather's probably crummy in June anyway, so it's a great opportunity to come out. We'll kind of go over some basics of some telescope, talk about some equipment. If you bought a telescope in the last year and you have no idea what the heck you're doing with it, reach out to us, but bring it. We can probably, between those in attendance, fix it, get you trained, get you prepared to then go out and use the thing. And then also mirror cleaning, collimation, some of those basic things. If you've never collimated a telescope, it's super easy, but I understand if you've not done it, the first time can be intimidating, so we want to make sure to offer that support. We are finalizing the location and time, so again, June 27th, probably a late morning, early afternoon time frame, but then location, we're still kind of pending. We'll definitely put that on the website, and then I'll talk about it again in our next meeting before we get going. So it's great for those that are seasoned, but if you're new to the club, come on out. It was super well attended. And I always have to show some member astrophotography. I think Warren just missed the date when he sent this to me. This is of the Owl Nebula on his Celestron origin. So that's just a great shot to see some of the detail. So thank you, Warren, for sending that in. Jerry Cheney, some of you may have seen on the Facebook page. So this was a composite. Well, actually, do you want to talk about the process? It's a little bit more complex. I have help for you.
Sorry, not showing up here.
Oh, do you not see it? Okay.
Yeah, the regular isn't showing up, but this was the night that the moon
Oh, shoot.
looks version. Oh, And, the picture shows, right, right before, we have the cliffs on the left, and then, a minute or two after.
Yeah, it's right around 2 o'clock or so. We'll just take that one
So,
for.
right, you're on that.
Much better, or come up here and I can show it to you. I promise there is a white dot of a star on there. I am so sorry. I don't want to shortchange Regulus. I'm sorry. Blue star. But yeah, small little guy. And then this is some of the stuff I was working on. I found some data on Carina when I was down at the Winter Star Party, and then this was the N51 that I was working on with my Newtonian and my kind of newer imaging rig. So figured I'd show that a little bit because I want to throw some stuff in the month ahead. So we are coming up on that new moon weekend, and weather's looking to be pretty favorable. So here, I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights are looking to be good. So going out and getting under that dark sky. Some of the notable events are May 18th, Venus and the moon are on a close approach. It's right around 2-3 degrees apart from each other. I don't think they call it an occultation or a conjunction, but they're getting pretty close. And then Jupiter is starting to set earlier and earlier into the night. So get your last views of Jupiter while it's still up, but then also Mars and Saturn are starting to rise. They'll be really kind of better positioned here in June, but they're starting to appear for those early risers as well. And then obviously the Milky Way, the star of summer, is starting to rise. I think right around midnight or so is when you can start to see some of it pop up. So get out for that. Any announcements or anything that I may have missed? Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, nice. Well, awesome. Well, thank you. For anybody that didn't hear, we've got some fresh or farm fresh eggs that'll be out during the break. Astro eggs. Oh my goodness. I'm sure they're out of this world. Do we know where Lisa ran off to? Can anybody grab Lisa? Can I have one of our helpers go grab Lisa for a second? Yeah. Get her. Stick her. This may actually be better this way because she absolutely hates to be the center of attention. Therefore, I have to make her the center of attention. So a little bit of an update officially as far as the Astronomical League Observing Award. If you don't know about those, the Astronomical League has a huge list of all kinds of different observing programs that if you complete, they'll send you, depending on the level and completion, a certificate, but then also sometimes, or a lot of times, in fact, a pin. They also, for the outreach award, it's no longer called basic, stellar. I don't care what, no, you told me I can do what I want. So they changed it from basic, stellar, and master to bronze, silver, and gold. So that is the official update. It just so happens, and I have to kind of admit that as president of the Astronomy Club, I feel like I abused my power because these observing programs are really something that you all should be taking part in. You pay your dues to us, therefore you pay your dues to the Astronomical League. Usually it's something that you do, but I felt as the newly sworn in president of this club that it was a crime that our outreach coordinator did not have her outreach awards. So we reached back out, and I know she didn't want to come up here. So during the board meeting, I made sure we got all of her paperwork filled out to get, I'm not going to call it the basic stellar, the bronze, the silver, and the gold outreach awards. You may be the very first to actually get that gold one because it's so new. So we wanted to make sure it's a minuscule portion of the work that you've done over the years to support outreach in this community. So again, the smallest thing we can do, but we wanted to make sure to thank you for all that you've done. So this club would not run as it does without you. So thank you. Well deserved. So she's a big part of why I'm engaged in this. So no, but truly, you need somebody to be nice to somebody.
Wow.
Right? So I mean, truly, it's not going to the event. People remember how they felt. So I couldn't tell you what the weather was like. I couldn't tell you what I looked at. I could tell you how I felt. And I'm sure that countless other people have felt the same way. So yes, you were nice. Thank you. So thank you. Members Corner speaker, we don't have any, so we'll whip through and go to refreshments. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes and
After last year received the, I guess it's now.
The bronze,
Award. Just recently, he's also received the silver for announcement. Oh, well done.
I got a ways to go, but thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll see you here. Let's call it 8:40, or I'm sorry, 7:40, and then we'll let James steal the show. Thank you all. Alrighty, it looks like everybody's heading back in. I don't know if he's ready yet, but I'd like to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, James Albury. It was too early. I think I was too early. We wasted a perfectly good introduction. See the door. Door is open.
Have that seat on your pillows.
Gentlemen, weighing in at a gross, how much do you want?
In kilograms or in pounds? Pounds, 171 pounds. Kilograms, like 70 something.
I got nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, James Albury.
How you doing? And see how this thing works.
Okay. Hi.
And I don't reminds me of third graders.
Okay.
So welcome to the planetarium again. So we acquired a brand new show about a little over a month ago, called Birth of the Planet Earth. And it's a full dome show that talks about our favorite planet, or at least my favorite planet, and how it came to be, and why we're such a nice place to live compared to all our neighbors. Because Venus, you don't want to go there. It's 854 degrees Fahrenheit all the time. And Mars is too cold. It's like, it's well below zero most of the time. It can get up to about 80 degrees when it's at its closest in the summertime. But here's a little plastic thing. This might belong to Matthew. Matthew, where are you? Oh, okay. I'll just put it right there. Okay, so anyway. So we need that. So how many of you is your first experience at our planetarium? Raise your hand. Okay, so what you're about to experience is an immersive experience where our fancy projector here in the middle of the room, let's make sure I turn it on because it might not be on at the moment. Nope, it's not. That would have been very embarrassing. Not that that hasn't happened before. The 14, I think it was. The Zoom counter, is that a 12 or 14, not counting us? Well, you have to keep in, it's 16, but keep in mind that I'm one of them, you're one of them. Dave's one of them, not Dave. Matthew's the new Dave, yeah. And well, all one, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. So, for those of you who are new, there are times during immersive presentations like this where you may feel as if you're moving. So, if at any point that the visuals become overwhelming, all you have to do is close your eyes for a few seconds or look at something in the room that is not moving and that feeling goes away. Now, we have to leave the planetarium together in an emergency. We'll bring the lights up and we have two emergency exits. We have one over here to your left and another one on this side to your right. When you go through either one of those doors, just keep walking straight down to our hallway, open the doors at the end of the hallway, and that puts us in the rock cycle garden behind the planetarium. And then lastly, if you're expecting an important text message during the show, we ask that you set your screen to dimmer setting because the bright light from your screen will cast a glow when you don't and ruin the experience for others. Now, I'm going to move your screen down like that so it shouldn't interfere, but I think everyone at home can still hear what's going on. Did you have it set to allow music for when you do your on-screen stuff that it allows music for everybody? Okay, let me.
James, do you want to angle the back webcam? Do you want me to
No,
back him up a little more?
no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll catch everything. Let me. Well, I guess I'll find out once we start. If I can't hear any music, we can hear narration. Because there's certain Zoom settings will filter out soundtracks. So anyway, I'll find out and then we'll do a reshare. All right, everybody ready? You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, before we start, you guys can turn your screen in. I want y'all to get ready to sing because I have a special presentation.
Oh.
That's the one. That's the one he's showing. But I'm
Now,
not.
the person in here whose birthday today knows who that person is. So when you see the name up there, go for it. Happy birthday.
I want this one.
Please take down the refreshments screen.
So Dave was our previous president of our club, and he was also one who made that beautiful model of the Mount Wilson 100-inch telescope that we have on display out front. So a little birdie told me that today was you're celebrating another completion of an orbit around around the sun. So I wanted to know about it. So at the end of our presentation, I'm going to bring the Cronus projector up, and I'll show you what the sky looks like tonight. And if you want to see any of your birthdays, we can show you that. All right, so off we go with birth of, no, not mesmerized, we'll do that later.
No, I'm sad I can't see it because they didn't do the thing through the share screen.
Something's wrong with it.
Gazing down from space, we marvel at Earth's bountiful ocean and continents, its life-giving atmosphere. We ask, How did our planet begin?
Pause it, yeah. Because you are sharing, everyone can see just refreshments and snack bar. So they didn't see any of what we just did. I'm so sorry, everybody at home. You didn't get to see us. Yeah, we can do the fireworks again.
You want me to reset?
Do we really want to do it again? I guess we could. Okay, Albert, can you see the picture there? Okay, Albert gave me a thumbs up.
That's it, Paul.
And I guess if Albert can see it, then Art can see it too, right? Yep, Art just gave me a thumbs up. Okay, so what we'll do is after the show, we'll sing a happy birthday again so they can see it. Now, could Albert and Art, could you hear the narration? Okay, and did you hear the music for us singing happy birthday? No, you probably didn't. Now you should be able to, because let me, yeah, we should be able to do it now because we're not sharing anymore. But Zoom is always such a fun thing to work with. Okay, so cloud recording is on. Speakers, I guess I have to go to settings. Okay, if I don't get this fixed in the next couple of seconds, meeting info, show options, transcript, breakout rooms, whiteboards, app settings. There we are. Audio. Spatial audio, hear incoming ringtones, output volume, test volume. Live performance audio recommended for meeting involving multiple instruments or voices. To activate this feature, at least must enable what? Microphone modes are disabled because live performance audio is enabled. To use microphone modes, please disable live performance audio. Okay, and then original sound for musicians? Nope. Okay. Let me turn that off. Okay, there we go. Original musicians. Okay, I think it'll work now. So, go ahead and press play, and Art and Albert, give me a thumbs up if you can hear the narration this time.
Yeah, we have it, James.
How did it come
Thank
to
you.
support life? And life to support Earth? To find out, we peer back in time, some 5 billion years ago. The story of Earth starts within a giant spiral galaxy, the Milky Way. At 100,000 light years across, the galaxy is a cauldron of swirling dust clouds and glowing gas. This simulated view shows a 50 million year span, a cosmological blink of an eye. In that time, millions of giant stars live and die in staggering explosions called supernovae, shown here as flashes of light. They seed the cosmos with the stuff of planets, carbon, silicon, iron, and more. In one distant corner of the galaxy, a supernova shockwave slams into a cloud, already rich with these elements. The impact collapses the cloud, sending stardust streaming into its core. The cloud is about as cold as the universe gets, but the tighter it's packed, the more it heats up. A storm erupts at its center, a vast raging hurricane of dust It is being fed by a slowly spinning disk, the cradle of our solar system. Within the disk, planets take shape in a long and violent process. It starts with dust gathering into sand-like grains. They form pebble-sized objects within clouds of loose gravel. Over millions of years, gravity draws them together to form rocks, ice balls, and boulders. These objects coalesce into miniature planets, or planetesimals. One such body, the primordial Earth, is growing steadily, but its fate hangs in the balance. What began as a gentle mingling of matter is about to get ugly. A computer model recreates the first 100 million years of our solar system by simulating the interaction of dust, gas, ice, and boulders. Each flash marks a collision. Each ring tracks the orbit of a would-be planet. While some break apart in collisions, others grow large. Out in the periphery, far from the sun, a giant emerges. Jupiter. Within a million years of its birth, Jupiter succumbs to the gravitational pull of the inner solar system. It begins to spiral toward the sun. Scientists call Jupiter's big move the Grand Tack, named for the turn a sailboat takes into the wind. Along the way, Jupiter plows through clouds of cosmic debris. What it does not swallow, it flings out of the solar system. The closer Jupiter draws toward the sun, the more cosmic clutter it clears away. Jupiter moves all the way into the orbit of present-day Mars. Ultimately, another giant planet, Saturn, grows large enough to pull it back out. Jupiter's Grand Tack has reduced the mass of the inner solar system. Now, any planet that formed there will be relatively small. That includes Earth. Earth is still just an embryo of the planet it will one day become. Now that Jupiter has moved back out, Earth and up to 30 hungry competitors are free to scour the inner solar system for scraps. They blend together. They blow apart. Which ones will survive depends on the luck of the cosmic draw. As the remaining planets tug on one another, their orbits destabilize. A new round of collisions leaves just a handful of would-be worlds. The time is about 4.5 billion years ago. Earth may harbor volcanoes on its surface and a thin, toxic atmosphere. Our planet has so far withstood the onslaught of planet formation. It now awaits the test of its life. Another planet, about half its size, is closing in. This is Theia, a world that might have been. Instead, its journey ends here, as it bears down on Earth. Imagine the view from Earth as the ultimate threat looms large on the horizon. Theia rocks Earth to the core. According to one major theory, Theia shears away a third of the planet. But instead of destroying our world, Theia becomes part of it. A computer simulation captures the first 24 hours. Debris unleashed by the collision envelops the Earth in a dense atmosphere of vaporized rock. The cloud coalesces into a ring, a belt of molten rubble. Much of the orbiting debris rains back to the surface. But within a century, what's left gathers into a single, wondrous body. Earth's companion, the Moon. After the impact, our planet is left spinning rapidly on a slightly tilted axis. The Moon orbits much closer to Earth than it does today. From its surface, our world will fill the sky. As the Moon gradually slips into a more distant orbit, it exerts a drag on Earth. It slows our planet's spin and steadies its tilt. The Moon serves as a reminder of the cataclysm that almost spelled the end of our planet. But from here on, it would be a welcome constant, a source of stability and ultimately, beauty. For the next tens of millions of years, the steady barrage of debris from space does not let up. Asteroids don't just bring hardship, they also carry massive amounts of water. The pummeling may also have released water, bound to minerals deep beneath the surface. Half a billion years after the birth of the moon, Earth has cooled dramatically. It's now a world of water. Its seas span every horizon, broken only by volcanic islands. It's also rich with chemicals, with all the carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron, and more that came with the dawn of the solar system. The planet has everything it needs to accomplish its ultimate feat, producing life. But there's a problem. Its water is disappearing. The young sun is prone to powerful flares that strike the upper atmosphere. When a solar particle hits a water molecule, H2O, it can blast it apart. Lightweight hydrogen wafts into space, while heavier oxygen sinks to the surface and binds with rocks. Through this process, solar radiation would ultimately strip our neighbors Mars and Venus of water. To avoid that fate, Earth is in a race to give life a foothold before its water runs out. Incredibly, life itself may hold the answer. A process that keeps living organisms alive might also keep the world wet. On the fringe of volcanic springs, they're cooking away. Proteins and nucleic acids, the chemistry of life. We don't know exactly how life sprang from cauldrons like these. What we know is that life did emerge, and that it spread, thanks to a key breakthrough, the ability to turn sunlight into energy. Photosynthesis, the process that fuels plant life, made its first appearance in simple bacteria over 3 billion years ago. Using one of the world's most powerful supercomputers, scientists have sought to model its chemical secrets. Step 1 is to capture sunlight. Passing through a transparent membrane to the center of the bacteria, we encounter a cluster of spherical pods. Each one is equipped with special sensors designed to harness solar energy. When a photon hits, it excites rings of chlorophyll molecules. This energy is transferred across a family of proteins, the machines of life. Down the line, electrons and protons carry the energy through a chain of chemical reactions. The energy driving these reactions came from the sun. The cell must now convert it into action. It's the energy stored in protons that gets things moving. Streaming into water watery spaces within the cell, they flow toward a towering molecular structure. As they enter, their electrical charges turn a protein like a crank. This turning motion initiates a chemical reaction, one that is essential to all life on Earth. Two molecules join to form a third, called ATP, shown in blue. It is the universal energy currency in every cell that has ever lived. Like a biological battery, ATP stores energy captured from the sun, repackaged in a stable form that the cell can now use. To break down food, to power locomotion, to fuel reproduction, to live. ATP made it possible for microorganisms to flourish and evolve. As bacteria gave rise to plants, a more advanced form of photosynthesis released a byproduct, oxygen. Over time, this new supply of oxygen would change the chemical composition of the atmosphere and stem the loss of water. Earth avoided the fate that befell its neighbors as life spread to its every nook and cranny. Earth today, endowed with ocean, atmosphere, and land, with light and warmth, with life that's bountiful and in balance. But think of all it took to achieve that. The aftershocks of the supernova, the violence of Jupiter, a chance collision, and the gift of a moon, of water, and life. The more we're able to reconstruct our past, the more singular it seems. That is, until we realize how very many other solar systems are out there. We ask, is Earth just one of countless life-bearing worlds in a galaxy bursting with life? Or is it a wondrous twist of fate, a remarkable convergence of chemistry, energy, and chance? Our planet became a paradise. But is it the only one?
Yes. No. Maybe. Find out next week on Birth of the Planet Earth 2. We hope you enjoyed Birth of Planet Earth. And get copied into the story. Many Bothans died to bring you this information. Andrew Hitchcock. I wonder if he's in relation to Alfred. Yeah. Takes a lot of people to make a 30-minute planetarium show. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our optical mechanical projector. We're fine. Charles Riley. Any relation to Charles Nelson Riley? Does anyone remember Charles Nelson Riley? Yes, Charles Nelson Riley. Anyone born after 1990 would not know who that is. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, keep this on twilight. So the projector I'm bringing up in the room costs more than my house. So I usually have dramatic music for it, but we sang Happy Birthday already, so I'm just going to bring it out of the floor. This projector was made by Goto, the first generation Chronos projector, and it projects 8,000 stars on the ceiling. And I have my light pollution turned on right now so that we can we'll simulate Gainesville skies at first. And let me go do our origin all. And then I'll bring up the sun, the moon, and the planets, and I'll set it to where we are right now, which is actually, I will change that because we are 1 hour away from when I turned on the projector. Okay, and I'll put it on Earth. Okay, I'll bring up the stars, and the Milky Way, the sun, the moon, and the planet. Okay, so if you went outside, this would be a border sky, maybe a 5, possibly a 4. Our guest speaker last month would know that, but I'm going to go ahead and darken the sky now, getting rid of all our light pollution, so that we can see what it looks like out at Rosemary Hill. Yeah, so I'm going to rotate us around to the south. I mean, we're already pointing south, so if you look at our, where's my laser pointer? I just had it. Okay, so here's south, and we have west over here, north is behind you, east is over there. We have the azimuth that follows the horizon all the way around. We have the meridian that goes across the sky, and we of course have the celestial equator, and we have the ecliptic, and we're getting close to where the sun is currently nearing the summer solstice point here in June over here, but eventually it'll go through that equinoctial point there, and we'll have the autumnal equinox. Okay, so we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, i.e. Venus and Jupiter, and they are happily located in the west. Jupiter is in the constellation Gemini, the twins, and Venus is in Taurus, the bull, not far away from the star Elnath, which is in Auriga, the charioteer. So this is the sky will look like at 9:30. So I'm going to back time up to, I'll back us up to 8:30 or 8:15. There we go. Nope, that's 9:15. Okay, I'll stop there. That's about 8:45, so in about 20 minutes. So if it were clear, Orion the Hunter would be nearing the horizon, and you can use the stars Rigel, go through the belt stars, Betelgeuse, and keep on going. You'll pass Wasat, and, no, sorry, Alhina and Wasat. I don't know what it is. What's that? And then you have Castor and Pollux, and then Jupiter's here. Castor's body is here. That's Castor. Pollux's body is here. That's the split nested head. And here are the Gemini twins. Ta-da! At least I heard you. Deep down, Lisa is quite she's a fan of the fact that I know so many star names. It's an occupational hazard. Okay, and then Orion is down here. So if you're new to stargazing, particularly naked eye stargazing and looking for stars and stuff like that, if you find constellations you're familiar with, like the Big Dipper, for example, which is actually an asterism, but if you use Orion, you can use multiple stars to find other things. So if you're looking for the Whirlpool Galaxy, if you can find the Big Dipper and find some guide stars there, you'll pretty much know where it is when you're looking for it, if you don't have one of those fancy telescopes that automatically aims where you want it to go. So, for example, if you use the belt stars here, you can find Sirius, and then if you use the shoulder stars Bellatrix and Betelgeuse, you can go up to Procyon and Gamesa, that's Canis Minor. And then a lot of other deep
sky object. I'll point out M13 in a little bit. But I'm going to run time forward so you can actually see how Venus and Jupiter are going to behave. So, as I run time forward, every time the moon goes by, 1 month will have passed. So this is now May 15th. And, oh, cool, ta-da, and that's the moon. So the moon passed Venus, I think, didn't we just, Matthew, you mentioned that. Yep, this is on May the 18th. It's going to pass Venus, and the moon will be, now, when they have the same right ascension, that is officially a conjunction. So technically, we will see a conjunction because they both will have the same right ascension. Now, when they're just close to each other, the term for that is pulse, A-P-P-U-L-S-E. But often, particularly us science communicators, we just say conjunction, it's easier. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Linking verbs and phrases and clauses. Okay, so anyway, let's run time forward a little bit. So this is the 19th, and here's the 20th. We'll go back a little bit. Actually, the 20th, the evening of the 20th will be just past Jupiter, about here. That's going to be about 8 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock on the 20th. So, keep going. Now, the reason the planets are called planets is because they wander. There's Mercury right there, and Mercury says, I'm not going to hang out with those two because they're so bright and they're bigger than me, so I'm going to stop and then fade out and go back below the horizon. So on June the 3rd, Mercury will be nearing the greatest eastern elongation. That means its highest point before it turns around and goes back towards the sun in retrograde. Venus has moved all the way through Gemini and it's getting close to Jupiter. Venus is on the opposite side of the solar system from us right now, so is Jupiter, but Venus is going to be eventually rounding, coming around, and then going between us and the sun and disappearing. So that'll be during the early part of autumn that it'll do that. Venus spends about 9 months in the evening sky, then it disappears for about a week, then it reappears in the morning sky for about 9 months, then it goes, it finishes that retrograde movement, and then it starts going about halfway through its retrograde, or its morning appearance. It goes into prograde again, moving from west to east, and then it goes behind the sun, and we don't see it for almost 2 months because we're trying to catch up with it, but we don't. Okay, so on the evening of June the 6th, that's where it will be, and then June 8th, it will be here, and that's the morning of June 9th. So that's where it'll be. It'll be below the horizon where we can't see it at this exact time, but the night before, it'll be right there. So it'll only be a few fractions of a degree off from where it was before. So if you're wanting to see a really cool pairing, and if you go out on the 10th, it'll look like it's mimicking Castor and Pollux. And Jupiter and Venus often have conjunctions like this every year and a half or so. Sometimes they're really, really close. Jupiter and Saturn, one last thing before we show Dave's birthday. Jupiter and Saturn have great conjunctions every 19 years because then they're on the same side of the sun. They had a very close great conjunction on December 21st of 2020. And they were so close together, they were less than 6 arcseconds apart. Now, to give you an idea of how close that is, Mizar and Alcor are 12 arcseconds apart. So they were actually closer to each other than Mizar and Alcor. And they, but because they're so bright, they actually look pretty far apart. But because Mizar and Alcor are so faint, they almost look like they're touching. So it's really tough to see them. Now, the cool thing is, with this projector, I can actually show you the great conjunction of 2020. So I'll do that really quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Whee! Now, of course, it's in the opposite side of the sky, so I gotta, oh, no, not the 20th, 21st. Let's try that. Okay, so now I've got to run time forward, because this is the summer sky. I gotta put us on the winter sky. So Venus is behind me, and we'll have the winter sky shortly. There's Mars. There's the moon. And you should see Jupiter and Saturn any second. There they are. Okay, so I'm going to dim the moon a little bit. And then if you look over here, it looks like you only see one dot, but I'm going to turn off Jupiter for a second. There's Saturn. Yeah, so if you didn't get to see that when it happened, I don't think we're going to have another one of those close pairings of the two of them again in our lifetime. I may check, but they'll have another one in 19 years, but it won't be as impressive. Yeah, let's see. Let me run 19 years into the future. Let's see. That'll be there. That's 40. So let's go back to 2039. Okay, now I got to look for Jupiter. And then we're going to show Dave's birthday. There's the sun. I think that's okay. Jupiter. Okay, there's Jupiter, and that's Saturn right there. Okay, I'm going to run time forward and turn on MLM. Okay, annual motion. Okay, I'm going to keep the star stationary. Okay. I'm running, okay, so Jupiter's going through retrograde, so I'm going to have to advance this. This is 2040. Let me jump ahead 1 year. Okay, now let me jump back 6 months to July. Let's see if that's it. Okay, let's see, August. Ooh, we got some, oh yeah, September, my son's 30th birthday. Oh yeah, okay, so check this out. On September the 8th of 2040, we have a quintuple conjunction. All the naked eye planets are in the sky at the same time. Whoa. Yeah, that's going to be in the evening of September 8th of 2040. Yeah, I told my son that near his 30th birthday, I'm going to make all the planets be in the same sky together, and he's welcome. Okay, so the next great conjunction is going to happen during this great pulse, I guess they call it. So you have Mars, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury. So, and then the moon's going to be there on the 9th. So there's where the moon will be. So, yay! I will be, how old will I be? He's 30, I'll be 73. Hey, and I'll be happily retired by that time. But I'll still see y'all at 88. I'll have to see if my successor will still do this. Okay, this is September of 2040. That's a while from now. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this back to today. And Dave, are you still awake?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty, and this has put us in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so I need to put us back in Gainesville. Whee! And this is at 6:50 in the morning. So, Dave, what time were you born?
I can't remember. I was really young then.
You didn't look at the clock and write it down? Okay, if you want to share it, what year were you born?
1955.
Hey, 1955, that was the year I invented time travel. See, I was standing on the edge of the toilet, hanging a clock, and then the porcelain was wet, and I slipped, and I hit my head on the sink, and when I came to, I had a revelation, a picture in my head, a picture of this. This is the flux capacitor. This is what makes time travel possible. I spent my entire family's fortune in 30 years to see the vision of that day. My goodness, it's been that long. This is all farmland as far as the eye could see. Old name Peabody, he owned all of this. He had this crazy idea about breeding pine trees. Okay, so I'll stop. This is what the sky looked like at sunrise on Dave's birthday. Oh, where were you born?
Cross
Wisconsin. Ooh, do you like cheese? I've heard Wisconsinites like cheese. You know, you remind me of Uncle Ralph. God bless his soul. He had this really odd obsession with cheese. Okay, so I'm going to take us a little further north. Oh, it's the carbohydrates from the dinner I just ate. Thank you, by the way. Okay, and I'm change our longitude. Okay, so we are in Wisconsin now. I have the approximate latitude at about 41 degrees north and negative 89 longitude. So, if you were born at sunrise, your rising zodiac sign was Aries the Ring, your setting zodiac sign was Sagittarius, the moon was in a waning gibbous phase, so your lunar zodiac sign is also Sagittarius, and I believe Venus, let me just double check. Oops, Venus. Yes, Venus is in the morning sky. So every 8 years, Venus is in the morning sky in the constellation Pisces, the fish. So that was your 8th birthday, your 16th birthday, your 24th birthday, even on your 80th birthday, it will be there. So I'm going to run time forward, switch us back to daily motion, and see where the other planets were. So it looks like Mercury was in the evening sky, and so was Mars. They were both on the opposite side of the sun, so they were really, really faint. Let me just double check to see if that's Mars. Yeah, Mars is really faint, and then Mercury is the one next to it. So they were both in Taurus Bull, so there's Taurus. And Jupiter was in Gemini. Hey, that means you're, let's see, I'm 5, so you must be 6. Yeah, you're 6 years old on Jupiter, because Jupiter's in that same spot right now, in Gemini. And Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the sun. Yeah, so you're 61. Yay, I can do math. No, you're not 61, you're 71. Oh my gosh. Or close to it. Yeah. 71. Wow. Well done, sir. Okay, so let's see where Saturn is, and I think that, no, we saw Saturn, we saw Mars, and we saw Mercury. Oh, that's everybody. Okay. Well, many happy returns, Dave. You have any,
It's coming back to me now. This does look familiar.
Well, that's why he's an astronomer, because, he started looking at the stars at a very young age, and it impressed him so much that he's been looking ever since. And that's the story, and sticking to it. Okay, so it looks like Saturn was in Libra, the scale. Saturn takes 30 years to go around, so you're 2 years old on Saturn. Yeah, it'll be before you turn 3. That's like, you'll be 90. So if you go to bit.ly, bit.ly/planetbirthday, when you type birthday in there, it tells you when your next birthday is on all the planets and how old you are. Because I'm 95 on Venus, so I'm looking forward to my 100th birthday on Venus in a couple of years. My dad, he turns 1 on Uranus in October of this year. So I said, Dad, you get 2 birthday parties. You get your Earth birthday and you get your Neptune birthday. He said, oh good, I like cake. All right, so I think that's everything. Yeah, your Saturn birthday, your first Saturn birthday should be very, very soon. Okay, I'm gonna bring these lights up first so your eyes don't explode. 29.7, I think. So your birthday's coming up soon. We'll have a birthday party for you. Okay, and I'll put the projector in a vertical position so you can take pictures of it if you want. And I'm going to bring the red lights up more so that we can hear from our president. And then I'll bring the lights up around the projector. Okay, and my team is going to go ahead and open the doors. And again, I want to thank the club so much for joining us here at the planetarium and tolerating my my rambling. Yes. And always a pleasure to host the club. Oh, and so Matthew, I think you can project. I already reconfigured my microphone.
Okay, no worries. Let me pull up, just so I can bring up the one little quick thing about what we've got coming up. Awesome.
Turn on the projector in the back.
Screen. Ever so quickly. Thank you again, James. It's such a pleasure, and I don't know about anyone else, but these are my favorite meetings. So thank you again. I thought this show is one of the best. So thank you. And then just really quickly a reminder, Rosemary Hill, please be sure to sign up. I know Francisco is going to put a lot of time and energy into that. Weather looks great, so we should have some great equipment out there. Chiefland on June 9th, our meeting back here on the 9th, and then also look for some more information on that the ATM session that Tom and I are going to put together to pass over on June 27th. I see hands. On the 23rd, yes. So reach out to Warren. You can also email board@Alachua Astronomy Club. Find us on Facebook. Send a smoke signal. Reach out however you want to do it. It looks like the 23rd for that. I see another hand. Lisa.
June 6th, not June 9th.
Yes, June 6th, Chiefland, June 9th here.
Oh, sorry.
Did I get one? Got one. It's an inside joke. She's usually right. I got one. And it's recorded, so, this is, praise be, yes.
On the painting on, May the 23rd.
Yes.
I've got all the rollers, the paint, brushes, if anybody has ladder they could bring, that would be helpful.
Okay, perfect.
I think we have everything else.
There is an extension ladder there. I have one at my house, so yeah, just bring yourself and some clothes to get blue. Anything else? We'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.